Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Town Square Media and 106.1 Kiss FM proudly brings to you your podcast champions of the world. He's the R to the O to the B. I'm STEVE. We are your hosts with the most, bringing you everything wrestling related from post to post.
That is right. Welcome to another episode of Post to Post. We are heading in a week away, not even from Money in the Bank.
Yes.
This coming Sunday. This is the go-home show for Raw.
Yep.
And lots to talk about. Actually, I don't know if there's lots to talk about from last night's show. I wrote down a few things. Overall impressions from the show last night, Steve?
They did the Money in the Bank match got at the treatment it should have got. Everything else kind of faltered, in my opinion.
Yeah, yes and no. I agree with that in some aspects. I made a few notes here to go along with that and also to oppose it. Let me start by saying excuse me because I just started a case of the hiccups and I apologize. I know as a broadcast that is unprofessional, but I'm going to try to work through this. So last night, all of my notes really come from the first half of the show.
Okay.
After the second half of the show started, I did not feel like a whole lot really happened. I am so embarrassed right now. I'm so sorry about these hiccups. The four-way tag match to get things started, I thought was, you know, a lot of times they start the shows like this, or like they know they're going to have this fatal four-way tag match, so they just kind of have these, I kind of call them awkward promos, to try to get them all in the ring together at the same time. While I don't like when that happens, last night I thought was an okay example of when that does happen.
Yeah.
New Day and Enzo and Amore mixed it up for a while. The only thing I didn't like was it seemed to me like they were going to be fighting, but they wound up teaming together.
Yeah.
I don't know why they were cutting promos on each other. I would have maybe rearranged the order in which people came out last night because I just thought that it seemed awkward to have them, cutting up on each other and then tagging together, in my opinion. But it was all lighthearted and fun, and I thought all the teams kind of showed their strengths last night.
Yeah, I like the ongoing joke about Coffee's shoes.
Yeah, I guess I was a little confused. What were they just saying? His shoes looked goofy?
Well, those are Stephen Curry's shoes, and if you're into basketball at all, you know that he's been getting a lot of flack on the design of those shoes.
Gotcha.
Because they're not flashy or flamboyant or...
I appreciate you explaining that to me, because I got to be honest with you, I was a little lost with that last night, but found the humor in it.
Yeah.
There was another Backlund and Young segment. I still feel like, while this is goofy, Darren Young should be a little ashamed of himself. Backlund is outperforming him every time, I feel like. Backlund is funnier and better, a more natural actor than Darren Young is, in my opinion. Do me a favor. When you watch these, tell me who you think is the better actor of the two. They're both abysmal. They're both awful. And I admit the segment I'm so sorry about these hiccups. I'm so embarrassed. Both of them are not good in this role.
Yeah.
But I think that Darren Young is so much worse than Bob Backlund is.
I think he comes off as worse because Bob Backlund is in his right... I mean, he's not in his right mind, but he thinks he's in his right mind, so he's coming off natural. Crazy as he is.
Is this supposed to result in some wrestling? Is Darren Young wrestling maybe on SmackDown and I'm not catching it, or on Superstars and I'm not catching it? Is it resulting in any sort of matches?
It hasn't as of yet. I don't know if it's going to go there or if it's just going to lead to two firings.
Will this lead to a Darren Young versus Bob Backlund feud?
Oh my goodness, I hope not.
If it does, I can maybe get behind that, I think. Okay, so there was a Sheamus and Zack Ryder match last night, and while it wasn't anything to write home about, I wanted to say kudos to them because, if nothing else, they gave you a short little reason as to why they were fighting.
Yeah.
And I like when they do that. A lot of times, like 90% of the time, they would just throw them out there and say they're wrestling, which is fine, that happens sometimes. But they just gave you a little backstage segment to give you some sort of small reason as to why they're fighting. And I appreciate when they do that. I think it's better than nothing.
Yeah, I know Sheamus is attacking the new era. I mean, with the Apollo Crews thing, and if they write this correctly, it could end up being something at Survivor Series like the old guys versus the new era guys.
So you're thinking they're writing that far ahead? They could be.
I mean, if they do it right, they could be. I mean, if I was a writer, I'd definitely be thinking that far ahead with this.
I think they need to be very careful about how they're handling Apollo Crews, because I think they are mishandling. They're dropping the ball on a potential huge superstar. Superstar, excuse me. I'm so sorry about these hiccups. I really am. I'm apologizing now. There was a vignette after that about the Shining Stars, the Puerto Rican guys.
I could do without that as well.
I want to amend a quote from the Mean Girls. Stop trying to make the shooting stars, the Shining Stars, excuse me, the Shining Stars happen. They are not happening. There's nothing there. There's nothing there. I don't care how many times you rebrand them, what different names you call them. They're not happening. It's over.
And I think WWE knows there's nothing there because they debuted, and now they've went back to the vignettes.
What were they? Like, I don't know what they're thinking in the first place, though. Like, and if WWE knows they're over, why are they even making the vignettes in the first place? I don't know. So there's that. Okay, so I had thoughts about the. I guess it was like the halfway mark of the show, the Ambrose Asylum, with Dean Ambrose hosting and Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns as the guest.
Yes.
Going into this segment. One of my notes was they're really fortunate, they're very lucky that this feud has written itself because they haven't done anything to make us interested.
No.
It was just the fact that Rollins got injured with the title. Reigns now has it. He wants it back. That's the angle. Yeah. They're lucky because they have not added anything to that, really. And there's a lot of great, like they're the former Shield members, which they played upon last night. The former Brothers in Arms and the Hounds of Justice and all this stuff. Their big long history and their past together that has been really largely ignored and not really played into up until last night.
Yeah, I enjoyed the segment last night, but I think it did this current storyline a disservice.
Okay, I didn't think that. Why did you think that?
I think that because now they're throwing Dean Ambrose in like foreshadowing past Sunday, like. Okay, this is going to eventually be a three-way match or a three-way feud.
But I'm okay with that. I'm
okay with that, but sell the match that you're selling now and don't go past.
Well, that was the goal last night. In my opinion, Seth Rollins did that. Seth Rollins made me want to see them fight. Did a great job cutting his promos, and then there was Roman Reigns. And I really feel like last night, another great example of what we keep bickering about. I think that Roman Reigns is a zero on the mic. He's just got no charisma with me. It's not even, like, take out the boos. Like, I know that the crowd boos him, but you can't always, gauge the guy's success or abilities based on that. If you listen to what he was saying last night and you watch what he was doing, I don't know how you can defend this guy as being a good champion.
I still do. I like what he had to say last night. It's not the most charismatic, but it's who he is.
He added nothing to me. And, like, I wanted to get behind him so much. And I was like, here's this opportunity. Like, Seth is going on all cylinders. Like, Seth is rocking and rolling. Seth's given him a lot of opportunities to really put some personality and some emotion into this. And Reigns just farts. Reigns just gives us nothing.
But even up to last night, Rollins wasn't. He just started firing last night, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, that's true. He really hasn't been doing anything up until last night. But last night was their chance to sell us on the match, and I thought Rollins did, and Reigns did not. So,
and I think they're selling us on a future match. Adding Dean Ambrose in there and him adding his little thing.
Okay.
So, that takes away from all of it, in my opinion.
I thought the segment overall was good.
Yeah.
Ambrose was a little over the top for me. There's a certain level of goofiness, and he was kind of starting to get to that line for me. Mm-hmm. And I prefer him when he's a bit more serious and crazy as opposed to, like, crazy and goofy.
Yeah.
What else do I have? The last half I thought really dragged on, although they did put a focus and an importance, as I've been mentioning before, on the Money in the Bank ladder match, which I think is great. I loved how the mid-card guys closed the show out last night. I think that's great. That's refreshing. And I just feel like they're making the Money in the Bank feel important. Like I said about the main event, the Rollins and Reigns match. Excuse me, I'm sorry about these hiccups. The show in general, I feel, is lucky that it's writing itself, because you got the ladder match, You've got Cena and Styles, who also did a good job last night.
Yeah, they did a very good job.
I didn't write anything down about them, but they did a fantastic job. Yeah. And they've got the Rollins and Reigns in the ladder match, and this card's kind of writing itself.
Yes, it is.
They're not doing a lot to enhance it, in my opinion, but it is a good show that I'm looking forward to on Sunday. Yeah. So we will come back on Thursday with our official predictions episode. We're going to have a bonus episode for you in there sometime as well. So keep it rocked right here to our YouTube channel and to 1061evansville.com for all of your wrestling news. For myself, The Rob, my tag team partner, Steve.
I am a wrestling god.